Hey guys, it's Matt. One thing that you cannot do enough of in this business is look at and underwrite deals, because it's just a muscle you have to keep flexed, and just how to look at numbers to the point where you can look at a project and very quickly know whether it's going to work or not. I just went and looked at a buy, fix, and rent project that I'm either going to rent out myself and keep as something for our portfolio, or I'll sell off as a turnkey, one or the other. It's a good opportunity, and so in reviewing it, it made me think of 3 tips that you have to look at every time you look at a deal that I want to share with you guys today. And I'm going to whiteboard the numbers with you guys, so hopefully we can, get into some conversations below on evaluating numbers for deals like this. So this property came across my plate through a wholesaler. His gig is he goes to the sheriff sales. He'll put properties under contract and either buy them for his own portfolio, or he'll lock them up under contract and then wholesale the contract to an investor. So he's asking for $54,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath that's in like a B- neighborhood, right? And so he gave me the address. I went out there and took a look. Now that is a reasonable price, because properties in this area would sell for anywhere between $110,000 to $140,000. So maybe it's a fix and flip. Maybe it's a buy, fix, rent. I don't know. Let's go take a look. So I go out there and take a look at the property, and a couple things hit me immediately that told me which way I wanted to go with it. I pull up, and it's on a major road, double yellow line, right in front of the place. Lots of retail activity around, and it's actually one of these houses that's one of the few that's still a house. All the other also houses on the strip that it's on have all been converted to first floor retail, like a lawyer's office that operates out of a house, and maybe offices upstairs too. So there's a lawyer, a CPA, a realtor, those kind of spots. You guys maybe have things like that in your area. So this is definitely not a house for sale, even though it had a nice little yard to it. People don't want to buy houses around all like lots of other retail operations, and they definitely are concerned about buying houses where this double yellow line. I have found that in areas like that, it's okay to rent, because people view that as a temporary thing. Okay, I'm only here for a little bit. I'll stay here for a couple of years, then I'll move to the next house. That's what they may tell themselves, even though they end up staying in the house for like 10 years, because they get used to it. It's a turn off when you are trying to sell a house to somebody when they look at it. So the first thing that you got to remember when you look at a property is your exit strategy. Okay, so that's number 1, exit. Okay, so that means that when you go in, you got to begin with the end in mind. You got to look at, how am I going to monetize this property? So for me, it was immediately, this is a rental. So I go on the property. I had my contractor with me. Okay, my contractor and I went through the whole property. Needs a kitchen, needs a bathroom, needs a full renovation. Both the bathrooms need to get gutted and redone. Some of around the windows, a lot of the wood needs to get recapped. That's just you bend some aluminum and you put it around the outside of the windows, because they're just wood trim windows right now. They just need to get, the wood needs to get capped or painted. I prefer capping because it's a maintenance-free solution. So, and the whole exterior of the property needs to get repainted. Other than that, the windows are in good shape. Does need a few upgrades here and there, but the exterior is pretty good, and there are plenty of things that are okay with the house. Like, it has a nice little fireplace, which we'll probably throw a gas insert in instead of letting people burn wood in there. We'll throw a natural gas insert in to that. So my contractor and I agreed on numbers. I think for our costs and what we can get things done for, and the leverage I have with this contractor, I think my costs are going to be $25,000 in reno, and that's to make it a nice 3-bedroom, 2-bath property with a redone kitchen and 2 redone bathrooms, and nice everything, and central air too, because the central air is already in there, which is a nice perk the property already had. So, which we'll get to the value of that in just a moment. So, I figure it's going to take several months to hold the property and get it turned over, figuring the cost of money and the cost to hold the property while we're under renovation, while we're not making any rents. I'll throw in $6,000 here, okay, which makes the total cost of the property to purchase it. I'm factoring in closing costs in here, by the way, in the 54, because I'm going to go after the wholesaler that he pays on the closing costs. Don't tell him I said that. So that's 54, 25 in renovation, and $6,000 in carry. Okay. Okay. So that takes me to a total cost of $85,000, all in. Now, I look at that and I say, okay, I can get all in for $85,000. What should I do? I have 2 different options that I can go. I can take that and I can go to a rental, or I can take that and do a turnkey because I have an in-house management company, so I can sell it with management included, or I could just put a tenant in and sell it to somebody else who wants to do their own management on the property. So let's run through the numbers on that. Either one of these options work, because as you'll see, that $85K is about what my total cost was, about how much mortgage I'm going to need on the property. So let's run through those numbers. The lesson from all this is you got to know your exact construction figures. So know your numbers for construction. Okay. Now, lesson number 2 or lesson number 3 is on this side. Okay. This property will rent for $1,800 a month, all day long, all day long. I know this neighborhood very well. Property will rent for $1,800, and that translates to $21,600 per year. Okay. As I said before, it's worth anywhere between $110,000 to $140,000 fixed up. And if I sell it, take $110,000 minus that, nice little profit minus my cost to sell, right? Or I could refinance it. I have banks that will do an 80% loan to value mortgage all day long. Small community banks, by the way, is who you want to call. So on an 80% loan to value mortgage, that's about what the mortgage would be, somewhere between $85,000 to $90,000. So not a bad gig. So I can get out all my cost out on the refi. Now let's run through the numbers real quick on the rental side. So what I like to do on a single family home, by the way, I don't like to apply a 5% vacancy rate, because a 5% vacancy rate is going to take me down to around $1,100. I can tell you, on a property that rents for $1,800 a month, your vacancy is going to be 1 month's rent. That's just what it's going to be. Take it from somebody who owns a lot of single family homes. It's very rare to find a situation where one tenant's going to move out and the other one's going to move in inside of a month. So I like to factor actually a month for vacancy. So let's take that out. Okay, this is on single family homes. Now I also am going to take out, and this is if I manage it for myself, or if I manage it for somebody doing a turnkey, I'm going to take 10% management fee. So that's $21.60. Now in your area there may be somebody who's willing to do management for less. You got to factor in your market management. For me, for what I charge my companies and for what I charge folks that we do turnkeys on, that's what we charge. So charge a local management fee for your local area. So now on maintenance, again, a lot of the multifamilies that we do, it becomes more of a dollars per door kind of thing. So, meaning, $500 a door, $600 a door. For maintenance on a property like this, it is a single family home, so things like landscaping, cutting the grass, shoveling the snow, all that kind of stuff, that's all going to be on the tenants. The only thing that we're going to have to do maintenance-wise are things like maintaining, breakdowns in the property and doing some preventative maintenance. Now, for me, what I like to budget for is just a half a month's rent on something like that, especially because we just did all this renovation. So hopefully things aren't going to go bad, and I can come after this contractor for some warranty stuff if it's anything on him, right? So just to be really conservative, let's knock out a half a month's rent, $800 for maintenance. Okay. Now, again, this is conservative. I think I can get it done for less than this, but for insurance, let's say it's $1,000. Now, I think it's probably going to come in between like $600 to $700, but I haven't had insurance bid yet by our insurance company. We have a blanket insurance policy over everything that we own, so we can leverage that to get a better deal. So maybe on a retail sense, that's about right for insurance, but just to be conservative, it's a good number to run with, okay? So then real estate tax, welcome to New Jersey, my friends. $5,500 is what the taxes are. Those are my friends that are in the southern part of the United States. Just fell out of your chair, so I'll give a minute for you guys to get back into your chair, and just say, hey, New Jersey's a great state, right? So that's what we got here. That gives us a total NOI of $10,340. Okay, which is pretty good. $10,000 a year in net operating income, right? So the way that this thing breaks down, and just to kind of back of the napkin it, right? If I get a mortgage from the bank that I know I can get it from, or if my turnkey buyer gets it, let's say we sell it or it finances out at 110 value, right? That means the mortgage is $880. And again, I know these numbers are right because I know this lender will do this. So 4.5% interest rate, okay? 25-year amortization, on an 80% loan to value mortgage. Again, you're not going to get that through some of the national guys, but if you go to a small community bank, they will give you deals like that. So that's 4.5 on a 25-year AM, by the way, on a 80% LTV mortgage. You guys can see that. That takes my annual debt service down to $58.68, round numbers is what it works out to be. Okay, so on that, my cash flow, again, kind of flying by the seat of my pants here, but that comes into $44.72 in cash flow, which is pretty, again, this is on a turnkey deal, selling it for 110, or me valuing out at 110, doing a refinance to take this number out. Either way, I'll do either one of these deals. I'm making $44.72, or my end buyer's making $44.72 on their money, which roughly is about a 13.5% return on investment. So, the lesson number 3, okay, is know your numbers. Again, that is on the exit, on the rent or sale. And if it's a sale, you got to run comps. I'd already done comps before I walked in the door, so I knew that that's actually a conservative figure on the sell price. So know your numbers on construction also for number 2. So again, know your exit strategy when you walk in the door. You might need to figure that out when you get to the property, as we did today. Know your numbers on construction, and know your numbers on rental or out sale if you're doing a fix and flip. So a little more meat and potatoes today, guys. I hope this is of value to whiteboard some stuff. Let me know what you thought of this, by the way. Give me some comments down below on how you thought of this model by whiteboarding some of the real hard numbers for you guys. Let's get into a conversation. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great